हेलो जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आई होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग वेल। आज का हमारा टॉपिक होने वाला है इनपुट डिवाइसेस। दिस इज योर चैप्टर नंबर 3 फ्रॉम ओ लेवल्स बाय स्टार्स कोड। In this chapter, we will be learning about what are the input devices and why we use input devices. And there are some input devices, commonly used input devices like barcode, reader. Then we are going to see what are its types like QR code, frame QR code, and which one is better than in which scenario. Advantages and disadvantages of all these barcodes, and how does barcode work. And then we will be looking at how this keyboard is work and what are the different types of keyboards and what is why the ergonomic keyboard is better than the traditional keyboard. What is digital camera, microphones, optical mouse, 2D and 3D scanners, touch screens and its types, right? So these are the simple objectives of our today's lesson. First of all, why input devices? So input devices are basically used to give something to the system, right? Input मतलब कुछ देना, system को देना, in करना उस system के अंदर, right? So every computer receives commands and data from the real world via input devices. Input devices converts input into digital data which can be processed. You know that there are different sensors and different input devices can be used to get input from the environment. And definitely systems can only understand digital data, यानी वो सिर्फ binary numbers को machine language को understand करता है, तो then we have to convert that input data into digital data. For conventional computer systems such as desktop computers and laptops, the most common input devices are the mouse and the keyboard. It's pretty obvious that mostly we use mouse and keyboards as the input devices, but there are a lot of others input devices as well, like scanners, sensors, touch screens, and uh, QR codes, frame codes, and a lot of other types of barcode readers as well. Next, same again. Input devices, I have already told you. In the touch screens, we will be talking about three types of touch screens: resistive, capacitive, and infrared. Barcode scanners. I hope you have visited different stores whenever you are going to buy something. So usually your the person who's actually cashier, he is going to scan the barcode, right? This type of a barcode. This is called barcode, and this device is called barcode reader. So barcodes is basically the series of black and white bars which represents a code. And barcode reader can be handheld or built into a larger machine such as self-service checkout at the supermarkets. Barcodes can be used in many ways such as identifying a product being sold or tracking a package through the delivery process. Benefits include faster checkouts, right? So barcodes, the first one, the benefit is that faster checkout. Second is automatic stock control, means whenever you are getting something from the superstore, it will automatically update the previous database in the system that this stock has been um, uh, sold this much items, and then they are going to update the stock. Less chances of errors, definitely machine, it's a machine and machine always give you less chances of error due to manual entry of data and more detailed tracking information. सो बारकोड हमारे पास बहुत ज़्यादा एडवांटेज देते हैं फास्ट चेकआउट करने के लिए, ऑटोमेटिक स्टॉक कंट्रोल के लिए, एंड लेस चांसेस ऑफ. देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बारकोड एंड डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द बारकोड. बेसिकली इस तरह का आपके पास बारकोड होते हैं, और एज यू कैन सी दीज टू लॉन्ग बार्स ऑन द लेफ्ट एंड राइट साइड, These are called guard bars, right and left guard bar, and every digit represents some specific numbers. On the left side, this digit is called check digit. We will be learning about what is check digits in our coming lessons, and it will help us to keep track of a lot of things, right? These five digits is basically your item number, right side five numbers, right? And these lines are basically the representation of these numbers. And this is my center bar. And on the left side, I have five numbers, and these five numbers tells me the manufacturer number. Okay. And on the left side, on the right left side, I have another number. This number is called number system character. So, how you can make your own barcode, right? So this is your left chart and this is your right chart. Every digit, this is the standard by the way method. जिसमें zero को represent करना है, so you will always use this row. Okay. If you are using representing zero on the left side and if you are representing zero on the right side, then you are going to use this one. ओके एंड इसमें आप देखिए 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 आपके पास बार्स हैं राइट एंड जीरो में फर्स्ट थ्री बार्स वाइट लेफ्ट साइड का जीरो है उसमें फर्स्ट थ्री बार्स वाइट then two black then one white and one black and if you will represent zero on the right side तो right side पे आपकी पहली तीन आपकी black होंगी then two white then one black and one white. Okay, so basically there is a pattern. Then on the right side, barcode will always start with a black line and ends with a white line, but on the left side barcode will always start with a white line and ends with a black line. Okay, so let's just see that how this one is actually representing. So let's just find out one on the left side. See, this is my one. On the left side, two white, two black, two white, and one black. See, two black, two white, two white, two black, two white, and one black. Okay, so when I saw these 7 lines, and I can see this is the representation of one on the left side. Then let's just count two. See, this is my two white, one black, two white, and two black. Two white, one black, two white, and two black, right? So that's it for 7 bits or 7 digits for 2, right? So if you will see on the right side, this is my guard bar, this is also my left guard bar, and this is my left right guard bar. And 7 is representing like this is 7 on the right side. Okay, so 1 black, 3 white, 1 black, and 2 whites. So this is representation of 7. So in this way, we are actually maintaining the making the barcodes. So I hope there are different types of barcodes, data matrix, QR codes, code 39 extended, code 93, code 93 extended, and every barcode will have different types of styles, manufacturing styles. We will be talking about QR code and frame code in detail because these are two codes. These are two different barcodes which is mostly used. So this is our QR code which we will be talking in detail in. So how the barcode reader works. Basically, a barcode reader will read the barcode. It shines a red laser at the barcode to read the data it represents. The light from the white lines is reflected back and read by photoelectric cells. And the black line absorb the light, no light is, uh, so less is reflected. Means if there is a white area, light will be reflected back, and then L represent light and light represents 0. And D means darker area, means less light is reflected, so it means it's on. Light will be passed and it's 1. So the different levels of reflections are converted into a binary values. The values which will be reflected, these reflected values will be converted into L, D, 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 L, L. Means light, D, D means darker, 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 and L means light and D for dark. And then L is represented 0, D is represented 1, D is represented 1, and so on. In this way, this barcode is converted into binary equivalence, right? How are barcodes used in supermarkets means POS to manage stock control? This is one of the question I have taken from past papers. So the answer is when a customer purchases an item, its barcode is scanned in at the checkout. The barcode reader sends the digital code for the product to the stock databases where it is removed from the stock inventory. This means the number of items of stock is always accurate and up to date, and the supermarket staff can reorder items quickly when stock is low. So I hope it's pretty much clear. Okay, so I hope you have ever saw this barcode and you must actually scan this. So this type of code is called actually QR code, and we are mostly using these types of codes for passwords, Wi-Fi passwords, and for actually WhatsApp login as well. This type of code is called QR code, and QR code is basically the visual representation of data using black and white squares. QR code can represent 7,000 digits, whereas a barcode represents up to 30 digits. QR codes are scanned by a camera, often on a mobile phone. A piece of software converts the squares into binary data as we were converting the barcodes. QR codes often link to a websites where more information can be found, and they can also use to advertise products, share contact details, provide promotional codes, train tickets, and event tickets. So this is the comparison between barcode and the QR code, and you can see barcode is basically first we store numbers in a printed format, whereas QR code is two-dimensional printed representation of data used to scan and retrieve data. Barcode in different store to track all purchased products, and also in hospitals for tracking the patients. QR codes used as supermarkets and different stores to track all purchased. A barcode is represented in the form of bars and spaces, but QR code is represented in Morse code, means square codes of black and white dots. The storage capacity of barcode is more than 100 bytes, but QR codes can store 2 kilobytes. Barcode requires less storage, but QR requires more storage. Barcode is cost effective, but QR code is easy to deploy. We can easily create QR code. Barcode is one-way communication, but QR code, at a time only one QR code can be read. Barcode usage is more in super packets and store where the item's information and rate is tracked and maintained. But QR code is usually used in all stores and public places to scan the tickets, so code usage is very high. Okay, so this is one of another question, and how festival organizers could make use of QR code and QR code scanners. So see, festival scanners can be used, QR code in the form of QR code for e-tickets, and they can use for entry to the festivals, they can use to advertise the festival, they can use to link to the festival websites, and they can use to provide information during the festival. I have mentioned 5 points, you can write any four. Frame codes. So frame codes usually look like this. It's something like QR code, but in the center of this frame code, there is a canvas area where you can be flexible, you can use in for any purpose. Either you can add the graphics, letters, or more can be flexibly arranged, making it's possible to lay out the code without losing the design of illustration, photos, and etc. Use cases means how we can use the frame code. We can use frame code for promotional tools, for authenticity judgments, and for discounts labels as well. Next topic is keyboard. Keyboards. I hope you all have used keyboards. It's the most commonly used text-based input device. Usually it's connected with USB cable के साथ, or you can connect it with wirelessly as well. In laptops, it's built into the laptops. Smartphones and tablets use virtual keyboards जो कि screen के ऊपर ही नजर आते हैं. And each key on a keypad has a peg underneath it, which makes contact with the conducting membranes. This is then converted into an electrical signals to transmit a unique character code. Whenever you will press some key, जब हम कीबोर्ड से कोई भी की प्रेस करते हैं, तो उसकी जो नीचे मेम्ब्रेन सी एक बनी होती है वो प्रेस करती है, और उसके अगेंस्ट, उस वर्ड के अगेंस्ट जो एक यूनिक कैरेक्टर कोड होता है, सीपीयू को उसके सिग्नल सेंड किए जाते हैं, right? And then CPU is going to work on that signals, and then that CPU is going to find out that which character is this. So there was a very important, and you can say the very common disease called RSI, repetitive strain injury, happened due to the standard keyboards use, right? For avoiding this, the developers have developed ergonomic keyboards. So ergonomic keyboard actually help us to adjust our natural hand and wrist and for arm position, and it help us to remove this RSI, repetitive strain injury. So they can ask this question, how ergonomic keyboards can help maximize productivity through comfort. I have already told you it help us to naturally fit our arms and fingers position so that we can maximize our productivity with our comfort zone. Next is digital camera. Digital camera works by capturing light. It actually enters the camera through the lens. Then it reaches an image sensor where it is split into millions of pixels, small squares. Each pixel measures light intensity, which is converted into binary and represents a color. Digital cameras are usually integrated in our mobile phones nowadays, and it can be used for different purposes, for security and for professional photographers as well. The most important and the advantage of digital camera is that we can preview our images. Before that, when there was no digital cameras, there was a simple camera, so we can't preview the picture. right? We can just get the developed copy, hard copy of that picture, then we can see that what is happening. We can't retake that picture, right? But now we can take the picture, we can see the picture, and then we can take a new shot if that picture is not correct. They also instantly create an image which can then be easily duplicated and transmitted. And we can edit our photos by applying filters, retouching our photos. How digital cameras work? So basically, first image is taken through the lens. Then this image is sent to the CCD. CCD, by the way, charged couple device. It converts light into electricity, and this electricity is passed to the ADC. ADC stands for analog to digital converter. And then this ADC will convert that tiny electrical charges into digital image arrays, right? And then the binary code of that image will be created. Microphones. I hope you all used microphone when you are making phone calls and you are recording any sound. You're communicating online in dictations. So microphone is basically works by converting sound waves into electrical signals that can be pressed by the computer. They can be capture any real world sounds and convert it into digital data, which can be duplicated, stored, and modified. The microphones has a diaphragm that vibrates in response to sound waves. These vibrations are then converted into electrical signals by a coil of wire attached to the back of a diaphragm. Changes in the signals are recorded by the microprocessors using analog to digital converters. As I have already told you the uses of microphones. Optical mouses. Mouses basically help us. It can be used as a wired or wireless भी use कर सकते हैं. It helps us to select or move our items. There are two buttons usually on our mouse, left and right button. This is our left and right button. And in the center of this is called wheel, and this area is used for your palm for rest, right? It is used to control the cursor in a graphical user interface. They are reliable due to no moving parts. And by the way, mouse uses laser to detect and track movement. This is then processed by a microprocessor which interprets the movement and replicates it when moving a virtual cursor on a screen. Next, we have 2D and 3D scanners. A two-dimensional or flatbed scanner shines a strip of light over a document. आपने अक्सर देखे होंगे एक लैपटॉप की तरह से स्कैनर होता है, आप उसके ऊपर पेपर रखते हो, देन आप उसके लिड को बंद करते हो, एक लेजर से लाइट आती है उसके ऊपर, पेपर के ऊपर से उसको स्कैन करती है, right? And whenever that reflected light is measured for each pixel, this data is converted into binary data so the documents can be digitally created. जहाँ जहाँ पर white area होता है लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट करती है और एक इमेज और एक डिजिटल डेटा क्रिएट हो जाता है आपके सिस्टम में, एंड देन दैट डिजिटल डेटा will be helpful to create that document. And the three-dimensional laser scanner shines a light over an object. The geometry and dimensions are recorded so the object can be recreated digitally. The digital 3 model can be modified using specialist software. A 3D printer could then print out the model. 2D scanners can be used for creating digital versions of documents or paragraphs, reading passports at airports. 3D scanners can be used to create 3D models for use with computer-aided softwares, and we can create replicas with 3D printers. There are multiple uses of 3D scanners and printers are dentistry, product development, medical. A cheap and quick way of creating a digital representation of both 2D and 3D objects so they can be manipulated, stored, transmitted, or copied. Touch screens. Nowadays, everybody is using touch screens. So, touch screens are considered as input and output devices as well. There are three types of touch screens: resistive, infrared, and capacitives. And how it works, benefits and drawbacks, and use cases. I have mentioned everything in one slide. In resistive screens, it consists of two conductive layers. The top layer is flexible. When the screen is touched, the two layers connect, completing a circuit, right? But in infrared they used LED, and that LED shine infrared light across the screens, forming a matrix. And when the screen is touched, the beam are interrupted. Capacitives made up of a protected layer, a transparent conductive layer, and a glass substrate. There are three layers. Touching the screens changes the electrostatics field of the conductive layers, right? And there are benefits and drawbacks. Resistive is cheap to produce, but resistant to surface impurities, can be activated with nearly every object, stylus, finger, gloved hands. But infrared is excellent image quality, high precision, durable, and allow for multiple touches at the same time, but requires a bare finger or stylus for activation. It cannot work, infrared cannot work for gloved hand. Capacitive, excellent image quality, untouchable, unlimited touch life, scale well, and sensitive to interference from light, water, and snow. It means you can't see everything clearly in capacitive screens, right? And usually we are using resistive, used in cash machines, industries, medical equipments, tablets. On the other hand, infrared uses tablets, laptops, smartphones, automatic vending machines, public and self-service equipments. Capacitive screens use large scale commercial, electronic whiteboards, video conferences, and medical equipments. In these slides, I have tried my level best to give you all the examples and benefits of each and every input devices, right? So please have a look, and if there is any confusion, do let me know in the comment section box. And if you want me to make more videos, interesting videos, do let me know in the comment section box and share it with your friends.